My favorite part, the mixer, because it was so juicy.
Oh, yeah, child. We need to
Yeah, I
get
know.
into
We gotta get
that.
into that in a little bit, but go ahead, girl.
Because that you guys saw 10%. You saw
Ooh.
10% of what actually happened that day.
Oh, we gotta
Because
get
Yolanda,
to
I'm gonna need
90
you to
right now.
piece it together because I'm
Right.
like, I need to know how we got from here to here
yeah.
to here. Okay.
So let's talk
Yeah.
about okay, let's talk about because I
Yeah.
obviously I lived through all of it.
Hey everyone, in a second you're going to see our interview with Yolanda. We just wanted to hop on here for a quick second because the interview is in a totally different format, and so you just wanted to let you guys know that we were having technical difficulties in the UK with her signing on and things like that, and so we switched to a totally different platform. And so the difference that you'll notice is that it's going to show all of us in speaker view, so one person at a time, and that's not our usual format, and that's not what we preferred. But girl, the interview was really good. We didn't want to just hold it back, you know what I mean? And we did
Yes.
this interview after we did the Javin one. So talk about that a little bit, Victoria, because
Yeah.
homegirl shed some light.
Yes. All I'm gonna say is maybe go watch. I don't even know what order you should watch it in. Maybe you need to watch the Javin one so you can understand how we had that conversation, and then come in and
Mhm.
you'll see our shock
Yeah, yeah.
about certain things that we had in this one. But it was really good. She gave real good homegirl vibes, and
Yes,
it
yes.
was just a real good Black Girls Talking TV sesh.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think you guys will enjoy it. Let us know your thoughts in the comments and enjoy. Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Love is Blind UK Season 2 with a very special guest. We have Yolanda, who is a part of the Pod Squad. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can stay tuned. I am Victoria. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
And I'm Kamaria. I am an attorney and a pop culture writer. Yolanda, introduce yourself to the people. You came on here glammed up. I told her, I said, oh, I didn't know we was doing glam today, but you came on like set the record straight because the pictures, they weren't trying to do you right, girl.
Exactly that. Hi guys, I'm Yolanda. I am one of the cast of Love is Blind season 2. I'm a black girl from Zimbabwe and I've been sharing my dating TikToks.
I didn't realize that you were from Zimbabwe. Okay, that's a lot. We're
Yeah,
gonna
very
get into all of
nice.
that. So we want to kind of start off with we know that you kind of started off the season really thrown into some unexpected situations, just like off the bat with the photos. I think like you and was it Megan probably had
Megan.
like the
Yeah.
photographer really just didn't capture you guys well at all, the most out of any of the ladies. And so there was that, and then there was a situation with Javin and Anu and Sophie and you, and they were kind of calling you guys Javin's angels and stuff like that. So like just from it all, you know what I mean? How do you feel? How do you feel? Like where's your headspace at right now?
Listen, it has been a whirlwind. Like, I never thought we would get here because from the moment my picture got shared,
Uh-huh.
everybody was calling me old. She looks like 40.
Oh.
I'm thinking I'm a young babe. I'm 26. Like, why is everybody saying I look old?
Yeah.
And like you say, we got thrown in the mix with Javen, and I was almost associated, I guess, by default with Javen and being like
Mhm.
this negative person. Oh, you were flirting with Javen and all this. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind. There's been ups and there's been downs. And I feel
Mhm.
like my experience, I know we're going to touch on this earlier, as a black woman, was
Mhm.
crazy. As you guys know, I was the only I guess, dark skinned girl within the whole
Mhm.
cast,
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
which is something in itself. And obviously, Annie was there, she's from Nigeria. So it was actually only two of us,
Yeah.
you know? So I think from the bet when I was thrown into this experiment, I remember looking around and thinking, oh my God, like, I stick out here. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
different.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
and I don't really know how to feel. But I'm a person who sort of just rises up to the challenge. Like, okay, I'm different. Like, let me use this to my advantage. Actually, so I just didn't pay mind to it. And then as we started to get into the experience now, that's when things started to become apparent because even when you're dating in the pods and you walk in and they're like, oh, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, I'm Yolanda. They're like,
Mhm.
oh. that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
haven't heard that before. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and you get all
Oh
these
wow.
reactions. Had I walked in and said a different name, would it
Mm-hmm.
been the same? Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
But I will
Yeah.
say this.
Go
I
ahead.
will say, like, the guys in there, like, were really open to getting to know me, like, which
Mm-hmm.
was a nice experience. There was no one that was, a bit like, oh, like, I'm not going to talk to you at all. Do you know what I mean?
Since you brought it up first, let's just jump into that, the experience as a Black woman first, and then we can kind of move around. I really enjoy the fact that you're like being very open about that and like what it was like, because like even when we spoke with Javin earlier, like off camera, he kind of mentions as a Black woman, like the experience was probably 10 times harder for you guys because not every guy in there dated a Black
Mm,
woman, you know? And so
mm.
talk to us a little bit about like, did you feel like there were enough Black men in the experience, and were you open to all races? Like what was that
Yeah.
portion of it like?
So I think I was open to all races,
Mm-hmm.
as you sort of have to be in the UK because as we are the minority here. So that wasn't the particular issue for me. I guess my experience is it's hard when you go into a room. Like I know now post show, some of the guys were like to me and Annie, oh, we thought you were big, or we thought you were like this, or like those things aren't nice to hear after because it's like
Yeah.
it should be like
How do
like
you sound big?
I
What does
know,
that
right?
mean?
how can we make those assumptions by voice and name? But I was lucky in there, like especially Kieran. I had dates with Kieran in there.
Mm-hmm.
Kieran was open to dating other races. Dee was open to speaking to Black girls. Patrick was open. Javin was open. So we did have a couple of guys between us that were open to dating Black women,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but
Well,
not
let me not
everyone.
say. Let me also just say, like everyone you named right besides Kieran is Black,
Well,
right?
who's the
And
D guy?
so
I don't remember him.
I'm
Who's D?
it's
Oh,
a Demola.
Demola. Okay, okay. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
was like, who's the
Yeah, yeah,
D
yeah.
guy?
Not saying it's expected, right,
Yeah.
for the Black
Mm,
people in this experience to link
Mm-hmm.
up, but
Mm-hmm.
I
mm,
think that's a testament when you say like there are guys who are open, and then when you list the guys who are open to dating Black women, most of the
mm.
or it was all the Black men plus
Yeah,
Kieran,
Karen.
you
And
Yeah, but
know?
I
that's why I'm
think
like, I knew I liked Karen. I knew I liked
yeah, Kieran's good. Like
Karen.
he's such a nice guy. But I
That's
think
good.
what we've got to realize is in the UK, unfortunately, this is what it's like. It's different, much different
Mm,
to America, in
mm,
the sense that there's a bigger proportion of Black people in the UK.
mm. In the
So you've
UK or the
got that.
US?
In the
US.
US, sorry, in the US. In the UK, it's not. It's a completely different experience, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
think what they did capture in the cast is diversity because we did get it there. There was two Black men, me and Nanu. Laurie's also she's half Jamaican too.
Mm-hmm.
Sarova, like and Cal. So
Mm-hmm.
like that's a very diverse group of
Cast,
people, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's really hard to get. And I don't think any other shows in the UK currently have that
Mm-hmm.
dynamic mix.
Mm.
I was even saying to Anu, like it's never a even playing field.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't experience like any like animosity. Everyone was open arms to me, so I did
Mm-hmm.
actually have a good experience. I just think
Mm-hmm.
I wish had there been more people for me in there, but it's just it didn't work out that way.
I think I had heard it might have been from Patrick, TikTok that he did. Did you leave
Mm.
early? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, so I left early just before the engagements because, like, again, I sat in there and I was helping other people, supporting all the girls. I just became
Mm-hmm.
like a therapist in there for the other girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat there and I thought, my husband is not here. Like, my
Mm-hmm.
husband is not here. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what am I doing here?
Yeah.
The,
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to production and they said, yeah, do you know what? If you feel that way, yeah, sometimes not everybody finds love um, in the experiment. I was like, okay, cool, let me leave. But yeah, and then itself, I felt rejection when I left at that time because I was like, wow, like everybody's finding love. Why am I not finding love?
Mm-hmm.
And I know Annie felt the same as well. But yeah, I left because I just couldn't, my partner wasn't there. And then when
Yeah.
I left, I heard that Patrick was like, oh, my wife has left. I was like, huh?
Interesting.
How interesting because you didn't tell me that when we were dating. Like,
Yeah. So like,
Mm,
so where was he on your radar? And like, yeah, like talk to us about Patrick a little
yeah.
bit.
So Patrick was actually one of my up there, one of my top three connections.
Okay.
And at a point, me and Patrick were really getting on. Like
Mm-hmm.
he is very intelligent, he's
Mm-hmm.
very articulate, and he knows his stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had really meaningful conversation, and I guess me being a therapist and him doing his coaching, like we could really relate in
Mm-hmm.
how we help other people. So yeah, we had a connection,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. But the
Mm-hmm.
point that I was like, no, was
Mm-hmm.
like, he said to me, I said, oh, could our child be christened? Because that's a big
Mm-hmm.
thing for me as a Christian girly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, they could just
Mm-hmm.
never. And I was like, ah, there's no
Mm-hmm.
compromise. I couldn't hear him compromising.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting because obviously Annie's one of my close friends, so she was dating him at the same time, and my other
Mm-hmm.
friend Laurie was dating him at the same time. So
Mm-hmm.
it was all very like, oh. And one thing I know about myself in that experiment is like I was, especially because it's hard to say, like in that experiment I said it is very much for pick me's, and I
Mm-hmm.
myself are not a pick me, and I found
Mm-hmm.
myself stepping back and being like, okay, you guys have him,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to fight for a man. I don't want to
Yeah.
fight to be proposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the same thing when I was dating Kieran.
Mm-hmm.
Sophie and Kieran were dating,
Mm-hmm.
and me and Kieran had a vibe. We were having really deep intellectual conversations, and then because he was dating Sophie, I was like, me and Sophie aren't the same aesthetic. Like,
Yeah.
Mm, mhm,
make it make
mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
No,
like, I was like, cool, okay, like step back. Let Sophie, because Sophie was very vocal, very loud about Kieran.
Yeah.
Um, so I was like, okay, get your man.
okay.
Do you know what I
Yeah, yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm,
I think we've heard that kind of sentiment sometimes around just the pods and the energy. And when you're watching it, right? Like I think it's apparent that that type of system can bring that, because at the end of the day, the
mm.
choosing is left up to,
The
for the
men.
most part, the
Yeah.
men, right? Like
Mhm.
some
Yeah.
women get to the end and there's two people that they're battling with, but
Mhm.
still at
Mm,
the end of the day, it is still on that man to get down on one knee. And so
Propose,
when you're
yeah.
in a situation where, one, there's not that many people who like black women, and then
exactly.
there was a lot more black well, there was
Men.
more women of color, right? And not
Mm,
so much on the men's side, but then there was like the men of color for, the black men, and then also Cal. It's like
mm.
the
But
equation
it's so,
wasn't right. It didn't
I
seem
think this
like.
is a very good conversation to have because, like, how come black men can have a choice of all women, right? And
Yes.
Mhm.
we, a very selective few that
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
us. That's how
Yeah.
it felt because everybody wanted Jav.
Mhm.
Everybody wanted to speak to Patrick. Oh, Patrick's this. You were hearing Patrick's name everywhere.
Mhm.
D,
Interesting.
he was getting love everywhere. But
Mhm.
us, it wasn't the same that
On the
side.
other side,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
especially hearing, you're hearing my name and now you're thinking I'm big or I'm unattractive
mm,
because of my name, to assume that my name or my voice comes with a certain aesthetic. It's unfortunate. I was thinking too back when, Cal was talking about his usual type and how that
mm,
might make Sorover feel. In my mind, I'm thinking like, you cannot come into this experience unless you're open to dating all races. Like it's
right.
Yeah.
already unfair, because
Yeah.
once you see that person and that person is not to this, you're allowed to have your preference, but if they're not your
Mhm.
preference, you're almost wasting their time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so they need to, I don't know how they can figure that out, but it seems like they have not
Well,
got that down
I,
right in the experiment.
and I think one thing is people need to stop saying where they're from. This year, you who are hearing, I'm Jamaican, I'm from India, I'm from
Yeah.
Pakistan,
Mm.
I'm from,
Mhm.
it
So you
felt like,
know.
wow, like everybody already knew who we all were, like
Yeah.
what we
What you
might
look
look
like.
like.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then it's like, it skews the experiment a bit, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it also, I feel like when they select the guys, I am of the mind that they need to only select guys who are open to dating all races, because it just disadvantages like black women, it disadvantages women of like other races who are not non-white races, you know what I
Mm.
mean? Because it's like not everybody
Yeah.
dates because
But
of the bias of, there's so much bias, there's so much like
yeah.
just
But
confusion and go
what
ahead.
I will say is that's unachievable in the UK,
You think
unfortunately.
so?
I think so. Because
Wow.
Mm,
it's just the nature of in the US it's different. I think
mm-hmm.
you can find that, but I just don't think that's
Oh,
achievable
that's
in
so
the UK.
Wow.
interesting.
Yeah.
Do you guys hang out with like some of the past seasons or like, like there's Ollie, like Ollie, you got friends?
The females of season one have been so nice. I think we've really managed to like integrate with them, but the men not so much. I don't think even
Mm,
like for the press day, not many really turn up. So
really? That's so
yeah,
interesting. Do you feel like that you developed this unique bond with the Black women who were there? So I guess it was Anu and then Nori.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The first person I spoke to was Annie because I was like my person, someone I can relate to. So yeah, definitely me and Annie. I like she's my closest person in that experiment. And again, because I guess the experiment is very up and down. She was my sounding board in there, and we could just relate, like
Mm-hmm.
bring it all the way down, and just be like, are we delulu or are these people like falling in love for real, or like which one is it? Who's faking love? Who's being real? Who's being true?
That
Um,
makes sense. And we saw you a lot
Yeah.
but
with Sophie. Oh, go ahead.
but even like Sarova, I was with Sarova quite a lot. You don't really see it in there, but
Mm.
again, because you relate, even though she's not black, you still relate because
Mm-hmm. She had the whole
she's
experience with Cal.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was just interesting. Was there anyone like that everybody thought was a catch? Was it Kieran or was there anybody who everyone thought was like, no, it's a no? Because I would have thought Patrick would have been a no on the
Pat,
spleen stuff, but
yeah, he
they
was
also edited to be like more,
yeah, like so. Kieran was a catch in there.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
Lebanese Jed was a catch in there.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and
I'm
see,
surprised by Jed. I'm not
Oh,
surprised.
Demola. Okay.
Demola was definitely a catch. His name and Kieran's name obviously were getting thrown around quite a lot.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I wondered who his second was because it just seemed like he was just all in on Katisha and there was just like no one else, you
Well,
know?
it was. I think he was vibing with Laurie and Anu and me. I
Oh.
think.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
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 Mm.
And
Has
so
there?
did go ahead. I was just about to say that were there any circle,
Yup.
circle back around the blocks like after the show
After the
ended, that sort
show,
of thing?
no, and everyone keeps saying this. Everyone keeps saying Demola should have been with Annie, and Demola should have been with me. But it's
Mhm.
like we're a year now post the
Mhm.
Yeah.
show, so it's a
Mhm.
very different relationship. I think
Mhm.
he's a great guy. Like definitely, like he would be great for someone out there. But I think us, we're like, yeah, that's a brother.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
but
that's good.
he's a lovely guy. And I think he was very soft and very emotional, very in touch with his feelings in there. But what you didn't see is how boundary D is actually like. He's a very boundaried man. Like there's stuff that
Mm.
when you speak to him, he's very respectful of women, by the way. He'll be like this is what I believe a woman should be treated, and this is like he's very like I applaud him every time,
Mhm.
because of how he treats women. Like,
Mhm. Mhm. That's good.
Love
That's
that.
good.
Yeah. He
mm,
seemed very gentle for sure.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So talk us through like the structure of your days. How much time do you actually get to talk during each date? I know sometimes like gifts and stuff are brought in. Like, how does all of that work?
Yeah, so on the first date, you date everyone. I can't say
Mhm.
for how long, but you date everyone. And as you go on the days, you begin to like form deeper connections with certain people. So you would say like, if I was when I was speaking to Patrick, I was like, oh, I want to spend more time with Patrick, and then you end up narrowing your dates as you go along. But the whole process is it's done on connection and vibe, and it has to be mutual. Like
Okay.
me and
Mhm.
Patrick have to both say, yeah,
Mhm.
there's something there that we want to continue talking about, or
Mhm.
me and Dee have to say, oh, we're definitely vibing. Like I still want to talk to this person,
Mhm.
but we can't
Mhm.
really say the structure because it ruins
Okay.
it for anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Um,
makes sense.
what is like the hardest part of the experiment for you?
I
Yeah, go
think
ahead.
the hardest thing is like ignoring everyone else and
Yeah.
channeling
Mm.
what you've got going on, because in effect, you're basically competing for a man, right?
Mhm.
In
Yeah.
effect, that's
Mhm.
what it is. You're going against like, is it 50, 15? Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're
15.
going 15 beautiful, gorgeous women that have been
Mhm.
hand selected from across the whole UK, and you're
Yeah.
saying like you just have to block it out. they're stunning girls as well. Like in real life, it's a different game. They're even more good looking in real life. And you have to just ignore them and just focus on your dates, because someone will walk out and be like, oh, I've had such a good date with, like, I don't know, Jav. And you're talking to Jav, you're thinking, damn, my date must have not been that great, because like I didn't come out feeling like that.
Yeah.
But you do form alliances very quickly, because like when you hear something like, you're like, okay, like me and Sophie were quite close in there. She'd hear like Meg say something and she'd be like, oh man, like that makes me feel rubbish. And that's one thing that they didn't capture about Sophie. Like Sophie, of course, she's well, before she had therapy, she was a very like 0 to 100 thinker, say exactly what I'm thinking. And there was times when there was like, wait, like let's just rein it in a bit, because like Meg is dating him too, so do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's the hardest thing, like tunnel vision.
Yeah. I can only imagine,
Yeah, I
like,
could
what was the
imagine, yeah.
self-care like, or like, how'd you manage rejection? Because that just seems like even if you
Boy,
simple rejection of like, I put their name
Yeah.
down, they didn't put mine on the next date, cycle. Like, how did you manage that?
do you know what? It's a lot of like, I am good enough.
Yeah.
Like my partner will love me and my soul. Like I don't have to. Because one thing in there were a lot of performers. Like as you can
Who
imagine,
was the
like
performer? No, let me stop. I'm just kidding.
you guys, I feel like you guys can make your assumptions, because
Okay.
everybody was performing in there. I was like, this is, and especially when it came to talking about very intimate stuff, that episode, what you didn't see is how some of the girls came back and they were like, oh, this is happening. Like, oh, like I'm feeling it. And I was like, girl, like, are you okay? Like, bring that in.
Yeah.
So yeah, rejection in itself, how do you handle it? For me, it was just that mental, I call it mental restructure, in the sense of like you were created this way. Like a man will love you for who you are, and having those discussions, and like me and Annie would validate each other as well, and me and Sophie would validate each other, being like, on the outside you would get men, so relax.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's very real. And I'm glad you
yeah.
spoke on that, because I think that's just a constant, that's life. It's like
Mm.
when you have a letdown, you have to like just
Pick
reset
yourself
your
back up.
brain. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. Yeah.
Mm.
Dating. I think a lot of people forget that rejection is a part of dating. You're going to reject
Yeah.
people, and you're going to get rejected, and that's a part of
Mm.
it. And you got to keep moving. Like, because the goal is
Mm.
to find the one person, it's not
Right.
supposed to work out with
With
every single
everybody.
person you
Everyone.
come into
Yeah.
an interaction with.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
something I say all the time is like, every guy that I dated in there taught me a lesson. Like they taught you something different. Like I always say, D taught me like how, like in a marriage and a relationship, like having fun is such a big thing. Like the light-hearted fun, because I think in the times of down, you need someone to pick you up. Kieran taught me like how I value a partner who's intellectual, that mentally stimulates me up here. Like they all taught me something. And like as a result, like I date differently now. Do you know
Love
what I mean?
that.
Like, and
Yeah.
that's why like we are such a tight knit family, because like they were part of my journey, and likewise we were for all each other. And I think people forget that all of us 14 ladies are single again. So we're all
Yeah.
going back out there again to
Wow.
fend,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. They should do a show following y'all. You know what I mean? Like in these
Right.
streets. Like that'd be super cute.
Yeah, and I know some people came out and found people straight away. Like I was like, oh,
Ah.
like it just shows that it's just timing, isn't it?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's
Mm.
real.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what was your favorite part of the entire experience?
My favorite part was, I think, the mixer, because it was so juicy.
Oh, yeah, child. We need to
Yeah, I
get
know. We
into
gotta get into that
that.
in a little bit, but go ahead, girl.
Because that you guys saw 10%. You saw 10% of what actually happened that day.
We gotta
Because
get
Yolanda,
to
I'm gonna need
90
you to
right now.
piece it together because I'm
Right.
like, I need to know how we got from here to here
yeah.
to here. Okay.
So let's talk
Yeah.
about, okay, let's talk about, because I
Yes.
obviously I lived through all of it. So let's talk about Annie and Patrick, right?
Okay.
What we didn't see is that was a very downplayment of Annie. Like, she went
Yeah.
in on Patrick, and we didn't see what Patrick was saying to Anu in there. Like,
Okay.
because like I back Anu in this. Like, he sold her a dream, a real
Mm,
big dream, and
mm,
that's where her frustration lied, because she's like, they were talking about like saying the Lord's Prayer in the pods together, and he was saying, oh, he's going to convert to Christianity and stuff, and then come in the mix day, he's
Yeah.
like, oh, it was never that deep, I didn't like you that much. I was like, huh? Huh?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I
Wow.
definitely was like, the
Yeah.
way it was pieced together, specifically that I knew Patrick thing when she was like, you're a liar, you're a liar. I was like,
Mm.
something happened that we don't know, because there's
Yeah.
Yeah.
no way that that girl, as confident as she presented herself, would be
Exactly.
like just going at Patrick for no reason. The way they strung the scenes together, it was like,
Mm.
she did a little side like we
Mm.
not hugging you, like hello
Yeah.
Yeah, and like,
everybody, and then all of a sudden that, and it's like, come on
Yeah.
now, give us the real.
exactly, like, she, and I think as women, we don't react like that for no reason.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's so much
Yeah.
Yeah.
deeper. But I think also, like, what we didn't see, who else was in the mixer? Obviously,
Well,
Javin and
I,
Sophie.
before we get on that one question, because I got some questions about Javin and Sophie, but
Mm.
on Anu and Patrick, did Patrick ever talk about a baby or a baby possibly being on the way while y'all were
Mm.
there, or
So
no?
that is Patrick's story to tell when he found out, because boy, but nobody knew about that.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
quite a shock.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
But
yes, go ahead.
mm,
Continue with what you were saying.
yeah, so of course Javin, like, Javin talking to all of us, all three of us, like,
Okay.
and the way it's pieced, it looks like
Mm-hmm.
Javin was just working his way around the room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't really like that. Like,
Okay.
I feel like Javin actually spoke to everyone, every girl that came to the mixer, like
Mm-hmm.
every
Mm-hmm.
guy that came to the mixer. And he, Javin, I always tell him he's his own enemy sometimes, because he just laughs at everything. He smirks at everything. Like, he's purposely like, those people that just like love to wind people up. Like, that is
Mm-hmm.
Javin.
Yeah.
And he knew exactly what Sophie was doing in that moment, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he knows he could have handled it better. Like, I will say this, like, some of the stuff that Sophie said was out of line. Like, why are you
Mm-hmm.
talking like that to an
Mm-hmm.
engaged, that someone that's engaged? Like, come on, like,
Mm-hmm.
she knows better now. And I would even say, I say this to her face, like, because like we're talking about intimate
Yeah.
areas in the
Yeah.
mixer.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a two-sided thing.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone can say edit this, edit that, but you gave them the information, Jav. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you gave them, um, yeah. And Javen is a very flirtatious person anyway, right? But for me personally, we
Uh-huh.
never flirted. I was asking him questions. I was like, "How's your
Yeah.
relationship
Yeah.
going? Like, what's the tea? Let me know." Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
very blasé.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know how I got dragged into that.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
when I heard the Javen's Angels things, I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh,
Yeah, like, do
because
you go ahead.
like in situations like that, like, a lot of people will always come for the women as like before they
Yeah.
come for the men, and it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Javen was engaged, we weren't engaged.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But obviously it looked like we were like wanting him, but I was really
Yeah.
just there for a catch up.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
I would
that's
say it
what I
didn't
was.
seem like for you, because
Yeah.
you did I think out of all the interactions, it was like Sophie was up here,
Mm.
and I think
Mm-hmm.
like Anu had a moment where she asked like,
Mm-hmm.
why
Why are
didn't
you
we
not
Why didn't
dating
date?
chat?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so that was kind of that could
Yeah.
be read a certain way, but your conversation with him was giving, like friend vibes. It wasn't. I
Yeah.
don't think it was toting a
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you think that edit was like captured your conversation well? Because it was like he was like, you were asking, so how's it going?
Yeah.
How do you feel about marriage? And he was
Mine,
just like,
yeah, they got mine exactly how it happened.
but what about
So,
him? Like, you think they got him right? Like the way he was kind of looking like, or no?
yeah, that's Javan. He knows it. Like, you could be having the most deepest conversation, he'll be laughing. And I've said to him before, like, we need to talk on a therapy level, because why do you laugh? like
Yeah.
it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
It's so much deeper.
I was wondering, I was like, does this have to do with like punishment or something? Because why you be laughing through
Like as a
everything?
child,
Like,
mm,
yeah, like, are you
yeah,
afraid of someone's reaction that you like try to make everything lighthearted? That's
yeah,
what I was thinking. We didn't have like a therapeutic conversation during the interview, but we did
mm,
talk about like there's disengagement. Like you can disengage
yeah,
if you know
yeah,
what is happening and you're an
yeah.
intelligent man. So,
mm,
And
you gotta
he seemed to stand by his notion that he did not feel like it was flirting. And I was like, I even recited back like when you say, "No, I don't want anything
mm,
from you, nothing now." Like that's flirty.
yeah,
And he's just like,
yeah.
he kind of,
yeah.
didn't
It was
really
flirting, like it
sit in
was.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
that's what I think as well.
But I think what wasn't right is the whole photo booth situation.
Okay, I got
Yeah.
you. I got you.
Because and the us being all over him, like
Ah, yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
but like I think what people have to remember, we were in a very busy bar that night, like busy,
Mm-hmm,
busy, to the point where it was so loud. Everybody was like coming close to each other and being like, "What did
mm-hmm.
you say?"
Mm-hmm.
And we were shouting like just to hear each other.
Mm-hmm.
And my time spent with Javin that night was like sitting down, like we were getting close like this because I was trying to hear what he's saying, but
Mm-hmm.
at no point did I physically touch him like that, like
Mm-hmm.
put my hands on him, on his leg, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Annie's conversation was much like the same. The photo
Mm-hmm.
booth situation, we all saw it. There was no curtain. Everyone was aware of what was going on. They were
Mm-hmm.
arguing genuinely,
Mm-hmm.
like they were
Oh, okay.
to
Oh
the
well,
point
yeah.
where it was like, why do they keep arguing? Like they need to start having that conversation.
Was it giving
Um,
like flirty arguing, or was it giving like no, they're actually upset?
Less on the flirty, but more on the like, should we go and separate it?
Should we go and
Yeah,
what? Did you say separate?
separate.
Separate them.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, okay, okay, okay.
yeah,
Interesting,
yeah.
interesting. Do you think like when you guys were at the bar, look at me. I'm like, when we were at the bar. When you guys were at the bar where Katisha and like the whole cast was there, right? Do you
Mm.
think she noticed any of his flirty behavior? Because a lot of people were like, "Oh, why didn't she notice?" But it's like there's an edit that we see. I don't know how
Mm.
it really was for
She
her.
knew. She knew what Javan was doing.
Oh,
She
okay,
Okay.
she knew. Like we could all the room. We could all see each other in the room.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And I
Interesting.
like if I was in her position, I'd be like, why is he not being with me? Like
Yeah.
why is he with everybody else? But then in fairness, it's the first time that we all see each other physically. So there's a lot of networking to do. But I think in hindsight, if the person that I'm engaged to was in that situation, I'd expect us to go around together. Similar
Yeah.
to
Mm-hmm.
Bardra and Jed, they went around together. They
Mm-hmm.
were very much, even Cal and Sarova, they were greeting people together. It was very like,
Mm-hmm.
this is my fiance, this is my. So
Mm.
it felt like that. But yeah, I think Katisha could see it. Um, it's hard, isn't it, Katisha? Because like she is a lovely girl, but I think even she said it. She's had relationships in the past that were very similar, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes it's hard to step away from what you know and to
Yeah.
challenge it, to say,
Yeah.
actually, is this person right for me? Because even I had a conversation with her towards the end and I said, is he making you happy? Is he doing the things that
Mm-hmm.
he needs to do? And
Mm-hmm.
she was like, yeah, but I wasn't convinced. So that's why I kept
Mm-hmm.
asking the questions. And I think she's a strong, very strong woman for picking Javen. Because it
Mm-hmm.
takes guts to
Yeah.
pick a risk. Because she could have played it safe with
Mm-hmm.
D, but she took a chance. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
I applaud her every single time for that because not
Mm-hmm.
many of us. I would have played it safe. Do you know what I mean? But she took a chance, and I think it takes a lot of credit. I think what Javen didn't do, he didn't nurture
Yeah.
the
Mm.
relationship enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as like the whole thing and Megan's account and his kind
Hmm.
of account, like, do you think that like what we saw at the bar scene pretty
Mm,
much matched how the after party went in terms of how Javin's behavior was? And so
yeah.
maybe was more in line with the spirit of what Megan was saying, minus the photo booth? Or do you think like, no, I think that there wasn't really much for Katisha to worry about in the after party the way Megan made it seem?
I think Katisha has stuff to worry about because her man
Okay.
is outside and she's inside.
Yeah.
Like, That was what she
funny.
needed to
A
worry
point
about.
blank period, baby.
But what she didn't have to worry about was us.
Okay, yeah, I
Because
got you.
what you don't see is Katisha. No, Anu even sent Katisha a message and was like, "Oh, babe, like there's nothing to worry about," you know. And Meg was doing what any friend would do. She was just saying,
Yeah.
"Well, I witnessed this. Just be cautious," you know. She was doing. I applaud her for doing that because that is a girl's move to do. But I think it wasn't at the level that it was like. It was really like we were dancing all over him. Like it felt like, damn, like did I actually? I was even questioning myself. I was like, Annie, did I actually like? Did I flirt with Javin? And she was like, no, what are you talking about? Because it felt like it was just this whole show. When actually, like, I just think if something had happened that night, would it not have been deeper? Would it not? People have not kissed. Would that? Do you know? There's no evidence.
Yeah.
No one's got any pictures. There's nothing. Everyone's got alibis. So
Yeah. Do you think possibly it was because of his behavior at the bar with Sophie that kind of made it just like a more heightened situation for Megan to kind of
yeah,
have?
and
Yeah.
also like I think Sophie didn't create that many friends in the show, and she already had people not like thinking she's a great person. So because obviously she came for Kieran's jacket, she wasn't in Meg's good books at that time, and then the mixer. So inevitably she was gonna get not. Yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't even think about it because like when I'm not saying that I don't think Megan was lying or anything like that. I think she
No.
told the truth as best she could. That's what it came across. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
even from the edit, I was like, I believe Megan. Look at what's happening. And
Right.
so,
Right.
so that's that. But there's a thing where Katisha says like, why would Megan lie? And everyone's thinking about it in the sense of like Javin, but what you just brought up is kind of not saying she would lie, but like
No.
what is there any self-interest in the way you're telling this story or any bias?
Yeah.
And it's like it could have been on Sophie's side of it because she did not have that great of a relationship. And not necessarily biasing is because I still feel like I see what I see with Javin. You know what I'm saying? Or Javin. I see it. I see it.
He's a problem, yeah. I also think like people forget also Meg also dated Javin. Like they were really close.
Yes.
Yeah, they were close to actually making it together.
Wow.
That's what people forget as well. So there's a lot of Meg was right to do what she did. She did what anyone would do, but at the same time there are motivators there.
Yeah.
But I applaud her for doing what she did.
Yeah.
But
Has
yeah.
there been any like reconciliation? We didn't really talk to Javin much about it, but like after, they pulled up at the reunion and said there was no curtain on the photo booth and it wasn't like this all night type of thing. Was there any like, I'm sorry for the way
I
that this
think
possibly could have changed the story a little bit for you?
Yeah, I think that conversation is still to be had. I think that they're both very like both civil. There's no animosity on each side. But sometimes you don't need closure. People are grown ups, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally get that. We went all out of the order that we
I
had, but that
know,
was
sorry.
good. We
But
do
no,
want to
it's
find out
okay.
some
It
more
was-
information about you. So that's like let's circle into like, tell us a little bit more about you. Like how would your friends and family like describe you? I feel like we're getting a little bit of like you seem like a truth teller, like
Girl.
sort of vibe. Like tell it like it is. Like but
Exactly.
how are you?
Yeah, I'm a straight talker. Like verbatim. I will tell you exactly what you need to know, and that's me. I think people that know me, because like I was so shocked that I got so much love from like everyone, because everyone was like, "Oh, we're seeing you on Love Is Blind. Like we're coming to watch it for you on TikTok," because like I think people know me from TikTok as being like this. I guess it's like this dating sister. So I tell people like, don't speak to that man. You need to run type
So
of.
you do like dating advice.
Yeah, so I
I
do
need to
this
go look at your
series.
content. I follow you on. We
Yeah.
follow you on Instagram, but we didn't know you. I know
Oh,
sometimes on the stories you have like the questions, and I'm always like,
yeah,
"What's this about?" So is it that?
yeah. Because I
Got
started
you.
this series actually straight from the Lovers Blind experience because I felt like I deserve a man. Like, why don't I? So when I started this series called 50 First Dates, based on the movie where you document your dates as you go along. And I actually like built a community from it because so many people can relate from the dating struggles that are currently going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, I just tell people this is what my date. I've been on dates and I've had to pay. I've been on dates and I've been
wow.
like been spoken to badly. So I just share myself, and I'm just me. Like I'm that friend that people call on for support. I'm a therapist by background. I'm a chatty patty, as people
Mm-hmm.
like to call it. Like, yeah, but I've got. Annie always says I've got a slick mouth. Like Annie's mouth is bad. Mine's even worse. Because I don't know. I'm just very straight talking. Like, even in there, like Sophie would do some outrageous things. I'd be like, "Why are you doing that?" Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, no, I could see that. I could see
Yeah.
that.
you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
But that's me in a nutshell, really.
What do you feel like made you sign up for Love is Blind UK? Like, did you feel like you would find someone? Like, what made you sign up for the show?
Quite honestly, I thought the experts who find people would probably be able to find men better than I can do. Because
Yeah.
if you know what it's like dating on dating apps, it is absolutely hell. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I guess Netflix select people that are ready for marriage, and that's the thing. Like, I'm
Uh-huh.
tired of wasting my time in the dating circle and
Uh-huh.
wanting marriage, and then someone's like, "Oh, I don't really believe in marriage," you know?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
for me, it was like I deserve love and marriage. So
Mm-hmm.
let me sign up to an experiment where I can, I guess, showcase my soul rather than
Mm-hmm.
my external features. Because I'd
Yeah.
really like someone to fall in love with my soul rather than because like, like aesthetic reasons.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Now that
Yeah.
makes sense. That makes sense. Like, as far as like you, what aspect of your personality do you feel like wasn't shown enough, and you would have liked to have seen more on the show?
Mm. I've got a big personality. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually the one of the loudest in there, but you wouldn't know that.
Mm.
I'm loud, funny, and I just wish like some of the
Mm.
funny dates because I remember going into Patrick's Day and the first thing I said when we were talking about spleen, I was like, "Is this black magic? Like, what is it?" And like I'm just a funny, witty person, and I don't think people
Yeah.
got. Well, people didn't even see me at all. I'll be very real. I didn't
Yeah,
even get an
yeah.
edit.
Yeah.
Like it was like 2 seconds. Like
Yeah, I know. That's what
Yeah.
it's like. You got dragged into that the photo thing, you got dragged into the
yeah,
Javin thing. And those were like really the moments that you were most visible, like just before the show even started, and
mm,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. Why do you think they did the photos? Just going back to the photos, do you think that they intentionally released them being like, oh, we're gonna start chatter or whatever?
yeah.
Because you
So
think
psychologically, I've I think this is my theory
uh-huh.
because they do it for Love Island as well. So
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
it entices the viewers to come in
Mm-hmm.
because it's
Mm-hmm.
like this person's 26 but they look old, like, and then you start
Yeah.
investigating, you start digging in, so it's
Yeah,
like an
yeah,
enticement, like,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Mm.
because how
No,
could
that
she
Very
be
interesting.
26 and look 45, like how did
yeah.
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 Cause like
Yeah. They do.
everybody like
They do it for love. They do it for Love Island. They do it. They did it for Perfect Match. Even though we've
Mm,
seen
mm-hmm.
all of the cast before, it's always like these super grainy,
Mm-hmm.
gritty pictures that looks like your skin
mm,
is all textured up, and it's like these
wrinkly,
women.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like these women don't look like this. Like you guys are
Yeah.
doing too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you do a reality TV show again?
Mhm.
I think I would.
Mm.
Different concept though, because I've I need I feel like I want to showcase more of my personality. Yeah, I definitely would. I think I would actually love to do like Love Island and Love is Blind USA. See if my
Oh,
outcome would be different
Really?
yeah.
Really?
because
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know obviously in like black men in USA love black women.
Mm.
So
I mean,
maybe
more.
We
That
got our
may yeah,
struggles
that- it's
too,
like they got
but
some issues too.
no,
but
but you guys have
it is
choice.
probably
Yeah,
more.
we
You've
have
It is
got
probably
choice.
more.
there
Yeah.
is choice, but there's the issue here in America is that like there's too many educated black women compared to
Mm.
black men
Oh yeah, we've
because
got
there's
that here.
just they just to be real, like they get locked up not for their own. It's like
Mm.
racism. It's all these different things. But the amount of black men in jail versus any other population, it's like 6 to 1. It's
Wow.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. They
it
just
starts
aren't
very early.
available for us to
Yeah, so they're
date.
just yeah.
Yeah.
So we're out here and we're like but
Mm.
I think one of the things too though that like being like granted like we're in our 30s so you're probably you're younger than us but like I've been
Mm-hmm.
in relationships for the past like 10 years, like to be honest.
Mm.
She's a little younger than me, but also sort of in that space. But like one of the things I will say that like when I was your age, because you're like 26, right?
7, yeah.
Oh, 27, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember being so like focused on, relationships and relationships and relationships. But like
Mm,
once I hit like 30, I was like,
mm,
baby, I want to be out here, like not necessarily like out here in the streets because like I always want to be a mother. I always want to be like a wife. Like I'm not a for the streets type girl,
hmm.
but it's fun being out here with my friends. Like I really
Yeah,
Mhm.
valued sisterhood and I really valued like being able to do the things that I cannot do in a
exactly.
relationship. I value being able to like not do the laundry, not do the whatever. I'm that girl who's
Mm,
like when I come home and I relax. Like I'm not
yeah,
trying to do all the chores and the housewife stuff, but I
yeah.
also, so I say that to say that I think that like during this time it's really
Mm.
nice to just like lean into the singleness because you got a lot of time. You really do.
But
Yeah.
do you know what? Yeah, stats say, because fertility wise, this is the best time to have a baby. And one of the things that you
Yes.
didn't see in the pods is how, like, our discussions about when we want kids and how time
Mm.
is not on our side. That would
Mhm.
have
Yeah.
been a very interesting conversation to have because as women, obviously, our body clocks are ticking, you know?
Yeah, no, that's real.
And
But
I
I was
think that's
okay.
also why some people wanted love like badly, like right now,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because time is of the essence. Whereas I was like, oh, do you know what? I've still got time, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. Do you
Yeah.
know what
Yeah,
I mean?
no, that's real. That's very real. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's real. Like I've said this before, I feel like all women should try to get a ovarian reserve test because
Mm,
that helps you figure out what your real clock is, you know? Because I've
Yeah.
exactly.
had several friends who've been in their early 30s and lost eggs. And I know folks who are in their 40s and still have very above average numbers, you know? So
Mm,
it's
Mhm.
it's you gotta know what your numbers are. So I say that to
yeah.
anyone who's like looking at that because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do.
there's a lot going on there. But
Mm.
but yeah, any advice for women going on future Love is Blind seasons? Like any closing thoughts or anything?
I think if you're going on Love is Blind, I think stay true to yourself. I need you to be locked into you and the person that you're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mhm.
need you to remember your worth when you're in
Mm-hmm.
there because it can be hard when you're competing against beautiful women. But
Yeah.
also remember that if it's meant to be, it will be.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
do not chase someone that's not chasing you the same way. It has to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
equal and you have to meet, they need to meet your non negotiables as well.
For
Like, it
sure.
really has to be a two-way thing because it won't work.
Yeah.
And I always say to anyone going in, remember all the lessons you learnt on the outside about dating because they
Mhm.
still apply in there, even though it's fast tracked. Like remember
Yeah.
them, remember
Mm-hmm.
the signs of a red flag that you've seen from
Mm-hmm.
previous partners, because that will help you. And I
Mhm.
always say, be different, pick something that you're not used to,
Yeah.
because there's a reason why your type is not working on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
I think it sounds like what I'm hearing is like not to be too, just like from everything you've discussed, is not to be too outcome driven. I think if you go in
Mm,
and you're like, oh no, I have to get married from this experience,
not
you
gonna
can
work.
become blinded from the things that you've learned. You can say, well, okay, I'm going to tolerate some things that maybe I wouldn't have tolerated before, or I'm going to dip
Mm,
back into a type that I know does not work for me. And
mm,
so you got
yeah.
to be okay with the process of this and not
Mm-hmm.
the outcome of getting married. Is there anything that you would
Mm,
add specifically for Black women in the UK going on Love is Blind or just going on dating
yeah.
shows in general and putting yourself out there to the public to be viewed and perceived?
I would say this, you are different. You are different. Remember that, but use it as a blessing because there's things that you can share that not everybody else can share. And I think
Mm-hmm.
just remember how, like I always say, God made you the way you are for a reason. So just don't forget it. And also
Yeah.
just confide in someone as well about what
Mm-hmm.
you're going through. Have someone that you think, okay, this person can relate with me. And they might not be Black themselves, that doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But if they are hearing you, you need that support system. And also
Mm-hmm.
speak to production. Like one thing about Netflix that you don't see is like how many people color are in the production team. That was really nice
Oh wow. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's nice to
because
hear.
like you had different people that you felt like, okay, I'm gonna go to this person, speak to those people that are around,
Yeah.
um, because they're also there to help you through the journey.
Love that. Love that. Okay, well, last couple questions. One, are the DMs open?
Of course. Have you guys got any brothers?
I actually do have brothers, but girl,
Really?
you seem like you high flag. You seem like you high flag. I have a brother who's 29. I have a brother who's 25. The 25 ain't ready. The 29,
Girl.
he is ready.
Okay.
He is ready. Okay. Well, okay. Look, and then this is what I'm gonna say. Offline. I'm gonna tell you some things. Okay, but yeah,
Thank
he
you.
he's ready. But
Where can people
where do
find
people
you?
find you? Yeah.
On Instagram, TikTok, all socials, simply _ Yolandita on socials.
All
All
righty. Well,
right.
we thank you so much for stopping
Thank
in. Thank you for your
you.
time and sharing space with us. You've been a joy to speak to
Yeah.
Thank you for having
today, and we
me.
hopefully we can link up, for
I
some other things in the
know.
future. We
Definitely.
talking about trying to get down to London at some point.
I
So,
That
know.
needs to happen.
yes.
It needs to
Right.
happen.
If you're not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Go follow Yolanda on her socials, and we will catch you for the next one. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.